Okay, so this is gonna be the parable of food. So this comes from the teaching. Yeshua teaches about inner purity. Mathew, chapter 15, 1 through 20. The whole thing is really good. I don't know if I have time to read it all right now, but in short, he says, or he, okay, so he goes and he sits with the Pharisee, and the Pharisee's like, why do you and your disciples not wash your hands, basically, before you eat? And Yeshua replies, and and why do you, by your traditions, violate the direct commandments of Jehovah? For instance, Jehovah says, honor your father and mother, and anyone who speaks disrespectfully of their father and mother must be put to death. But you say it is all right for people to say to their parents, sorry, I can't help you, for I vowed to give Jehovah what I would have given you. In this way, you say they don't need to honor their parents. And so you cancel the word of Jehovah for the sake of your own tradition. You hypocrites! Isaiah was right when he prophesied about you, for he wrote, these people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. Their worship is farce, for they teach man-made ideas as commands from God. Then Yeshua called to the crowd to come and hear. Listen, he said, and try to understand. It is not what goes into your mouth that defiles you. You are defiled by the words that come from your mouth. Then the disciples came to him and asked, do you realize you just offended the Pharisees by what you just said? Yeshua replied, every plant not planted by my heavenly Father will be uprooted. So ignore them. They are blind guides, leading the blind. And if one blind person guides another, they will both fall into a ditch. Then Peter said to Yeshua, explain to us the parable that says people aren't defiled by what they eat. Don't you understand yet? Yeshua asked. Anything you eat passes through the stomach and goes into the sewer. But the words you speak come from your heart. That is what defiles you. For from the heart comes evil thoughts, murder, adultery, all sexual immorality, theft, lying, and slander. These are what defile you. Eating with unwashed hands will never defile you. So what does that mean? I ended up reading basically the whole thing. Except for, well, yeah, I said the whole thing. Okay, so the food thing. Imagine this. Okay, so in Yeshua's time, people upheld the laws, the kosher laws, didn't eat forbidden meats. But he's like, and he says when you're out preaching, and eat whatever they put before you, no matter what. Here he's saying whatever you eat passes through your stomach and goes into the sewer. So yeah, the food part, okay, we understand that. But but what defiles us, or defiles you, me, whatever, defiles us are the words that we speak. The words that we speak in our hearts. We hear them in our minds. They come from our mouths too. And so how can we pretend to be holy if we don't even do what Jehovah says. That's the whole point of being holy, by the way. Holiness is being set apart for Jehovah. So the only way to be holy is to work for Jehovah. So, and no man can serve two masters. So you either have to work for Jehovah or the world. The world is a banking system, you could say, or military. So Jehovah or the world. I choose Jehovah. Jehovah. And so what does this mean? We have to focus on our hearts. We have to listen to our hearts. Guard our hearts before all else. Before I go, okay. It's called the narrow gate. Mathew 7:13 and 14. You can enter Jehovah's kingdom only through the narrow gate. The highway to hell is broad, and its gate is wide for the many who choose that way. But the gateway to life is very narrow. And the road is difficult, and only a few ever find it. Words of Yeshua, words of Jehovah.